Man of Maranatha, Detroit, Michigan. To wrap the news regarding Genesis 3:15. See how I look at it, Rap? If David was a literal man, a physical man, somebody who actually lived and died, then the stories about him have to be true, credible, unless it's just a factual, fairy tale. Meaning in just the words, like Humpty Dumpty did sit on a wall. But when you go into the idea that the scriptures are infiltrated, nah, they're not infiltrated. I think some of us just don't have an understanding. Or maybe some of us can learn something more by listening, testing the spirit. The serpent seed was Goliath. When David cut off Goliath's head, he took it to Jerusalem and he buried it. 1,000 years later, Yeshua is born, the Messiah, the fulfillment of Genesis 3:15. See, Goliath was part of the Nephilim. I didn't say angels and humanity hooked up. I just said he was a Nephilim. He had that DNA bloodline. But if you knew your DNA and understood the ancestry, not saying that you don't, but we can go back to the scriptures to correct this. Ain't that 2 Timothy 3:16? We can iron all of this out. David, being a man after God's heart, cut off the serpent's lineage, her seed's heel. I mean, her seed, the serpent seed, her child. That was Goliath. What was Goliath from? Gath? Golgotha? I mean, you know how it is. All due respect, bruh. You got the mark of Moses, the lisp. Moses had that lisp. I ain't mad at you, bruh, but I'm listening to what you say. If this book has nothing to do with the Hellenized version of Greek mythology, and this was a book of war. I mean, there's a book called the Book of the War of the Lord, the War of the Gods. You got that book? Because in that book, it tells you the serpent seed skull, Gath, Goliath was from Gath, Golgotha. But you don't deal with them books. Oh no, yeah, you do, because you deal with the Apocrypha. That's right. You deal with the Apocrypha. Because in the Apocrypha, it talks about Hanukkah. And Hanukkah was the day, it's the festival of lights. And the Messiah, being the light of the world, was conceived on December 25th through Mary and Joseph. And then 9 months later, when was he born? In the fall? See, the stars that you've been looking at and you've been seeing and all of this signs in the sky, yeah, you got it. Yeah, there are signs in the sky. But what do the signs mean? What do they represent? What are they trying to tell you? I truly present the notion that it's not Nibiru. No, according to God, Yah's word, it's Goliath. The planet is called Goliath. See, this book, the brothers that got caught up during the time of Alexander the Great philosophize the book. It's a astro-theological book. they made the stories that are in the heavens a theological book through philosophy. See, that's why we have to reason on the scriptures. We got to reason on this thing. Take time with it. You didn't, learn all of this by yourself. But that's the problem that we have here today. See, some of y'all follow rap. Some of y'all follow Big Judah. Some of y'all following the DLC. But I wish that you all be one in the Messiah. See, all of these doctrines that we have is dividing us. We have to be on one accord. See, Rat, when the feminine is expressed to you, as far as the Holy Spirit, and I heard you say in your video a while back when some signs was coming out the sky, you called your mama, your mother, due respect. What does a mother do? A mother instructs. She tells the children of the book how to interpret the book correctly so that her children will then understand, because they have wisdom. They get it. You know how long it took some Christians to come out of Christianity? Do you know how long it took for them to understand that Friday to Sunday is not 3 days and 3 nights? Do you know how long it took for you really having to point out that Isaiah says don't cut down a tree and ordain it with silver and gold for a person to understand that you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas? And now you want them to understand all of the secrets and all of the meat of the scriptures. No, they're still dealing with the milk. But you, brother, you going around saying that the Messiah wasn't God. And through the Hellenized mind, I say, yes, he wasn't God. But he was of God. He is the Son of God. You are a son of God if you teach his precepts and commandments correctly, a proper interpretation. Of shows relationship. Children of the Most High. Son of God. Man of Maranatha. Of shows relationship. So when the Messiah is saying he is the Son of God, the Son of Man, it's just saying he has a relationship with the Most High. Now, if everybody looks at you as a deity, shame on them. Didn't they do that to Paul in the New Testament? Didn't they do that to Peter? Thinking that they were, deities, Greek deities. I know you're trying to help God weed out, pluck these weeds out. But I'm here to sharpen your steel sharpen steel. Come on, bruh. Yeah, that brother Matthias, I owe you. Yeah, I'm. See, when you understand that David cut off Goliath's head, he was dealing with bears and lions. You have to be really diligent to deal with these other nations. It doesn't necessarily mean that he cut off tore a lion in two, Samson, and it doesn't necessarily mean, but if a beast is another nation, then the men of God will be able to tear them apart. So much that you will have the confidence to fulfill the proto-evangelium, Genesis 3:15, by cutting off the giant's head. So either you are a giant, rap, or you are a brother. And the only way that I'm going to find out is how you respond. Man of Maranatha, Detroit, Michigan.